Hi and welcome to a Kebby Maths video all about finding a side using the cosine rule. So the cosine rule is used with non-right angled triangles generally. You can use it with a right angled triangle, but normally we would either use Pythagoras or trigonometry. So we label up our triangle exactly the same as normal, A, B and C, and then label up the sides which are opposite the angles. So this is little a, this is little b, and over here we have little c. And the cosine rule we write out like this: a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And this is used when we have got two sides and an included angle. Okay, so two sides and an included angle. And what I mean with that is that we have got the angle here, and I'm just going to label that up in green. So I'm going to look at this angle, and that appears here. Remember, cos A is just stored on your calculator. And then the two sides that are either side of that included angle. So we've got B and C, and B here, C here, B and C here. So two sides in the included angle, and we can use the cosine rule. Now, the cosine rule can be written a number of different ways. You could have B squared here, you could have C squared here and rearranged, but I find it best to remember just this one form of it, and then always label the sides up to be B and C and the included angle when you're trying to find the side opposite A. Let's do an example. And we have a triangle here which has an angle of 108, a side here of 4 centimeters, a side here of 3 centimeters, and a side here that we want to find. So we label up our triangle A, B and C. Label up our little sides, so little a and little b and little c. And we can see we're going to use the cosine rule because we've got two sides, one here, and the angle in between them, the included angle. Write out the cosine rule: a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a, and then substitute in the values that you have been given. And this will always give you the first mark in a test, so please do not work out any of the values. So don't actually square the numbers, just write the number in the place where you're going to square it. So we have x squared is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared, take away. This bit always goes in a bracket because you're doing it all in one go. 2 times 3 times 4 times cos 108. Again, that's just in your calculator. And as you can see, if I just use my colours, I can say that that's the included angle, and we've got the B and the C, so we've got our two sides, and here the B and the C. Put all of that into your calculator if you put the brackets in the right place. Sometimes your calculator will come up with a bracket, it will open a bracket here, in which case you'll need to close that bracket and then put this extra bracket in here. So we would have x squared is equal to 32.4164 blah 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 blah, and in order to find out what x is, we need to square root that value. So you would type in square root answer, and that would give us x is equal to 5.6935 blah blah blah, and if I round it just to one decimal place, x is equal to 5.7, and it's centimeters because we have found out a length. So just to recap then, the cosine rule, when we're trying to find angles or sides, this video is just about finding the side in a triangle, then we go through a process of eliminating which particular rule we're going to use. We kind of start off with the easiest one. So we would start off with Pythagoras, and you can only use that with right angle triangles, and we haven't got a right angle here. Then you would think about using SOHCAHTOA or trigonometry, and again you need a right angle for that, and we don't have a right angle here. The next thing you would try and use would be the sine rule, but here we don't have enough information for the sine rule. We have only got one angle and an opposite side, whereas you need some more information to use the sine rule in this case. So we can't use the sine rule, and then we would try and use the cosine rule. Remember though that the sine rule and the cosine rule both work for non-right angled triangles, so you can, if you're more comfortable, use both of those and it will still give you the correct answer. The key thing about the cosine rule is that it has this phrase associated with it, and two sides and an included angle means that you're dealing with these two sides and the included angle, and you would be able to find the side opposite the included angle. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.